Nano Machine, Chapter 4, Entering the Academy. Yeowun stayed up late that night. Now, it was time for him to join the academy. Once he stepped through the academy's doors, he would lose Jang's protection. He looked toward Jang, who was still training, his expression turning serious. Would it have been better if I had learned some of his arts, at least? He often thought about it, but there were always clan members watching them. He couldn't risk it, and after his mother passed away, he made a promise not to learn any martial arts until he was officially admitted into the academy. That's when the Nano Machine spoke. Would you like to scan Guard Jang's movements? What? Yeowun's eyes opened in shock. You can scan a person's movements too? It is possible. You mean you can scan Jang's martial arts and transfer them to my brain? Yes, Master, and there are also multiple martial arts techniques I can transfer to you right now. Yeowun didn't know, but the Nano Machine was built with highly advanced technology from the distant future. Even though he hadn't gained Jang's permission, Yeowun was heading to the academy later that afternoon. He had to make a choice. Okay, scan it. Activating the scan. Yeowun's focus began to shake slightly as the scan started. He watched Jang's movements carefully for about 30 minutes, then Nano's voice returned. Movement scan completed. Beginning transfer. Suddenly, the entire movement began playing in Yeowun's head like a video, and soon the process was complete. Transfer complete. Yeowun felt a slight dizziness, but it was done. His eyes sparkled with amazement. Nano, I can't believe this. I think I can use Jang's dagger skill. He quickly closed the window so Jang wouldn't see him, then took position. It was the same basic stance Jang used before unleashing his technique. Yeowun swung his arm to mimic the dagger move. He hadn't learned it, he hadn't even been taught, but his movements now matched Jang's outside perfectly. Jang had trained for 20 years, but Yeowun could now replicate it in minutes. That's when Nano spoke again. Muscle analysis complete for training the movements. Will you accept the transfer to your muscles? I need a muscle transfer too? Yeowun asked curiously. If you don't have the proper developed muscles for the movement, you will... Before Nano could finish, Yeowun felt sharp pain tearing through his entire body. It was so intense, he couldn't even move. There is muscle damage, as your body is not yet suitable for the movement. Okay, I get it now. Can you please make it easier to understand? Yeowun thought to himself as he barely managed to sit on the bed, changing language to fit the user's level. Level? Yeowun frowned. It didn't sound good, but he didn't fully understand either. Translation complete. You did not train like Guard Jang for a long time, so your body is not yet accustomed to the movements your brain has learned. Only after simulating the movements and analyzing the required muscle development can you use them fully. Okay, I understand better now. Still hard to follow, though. Most of the terms Nano used were unfamiliar, far ahead of Yeowun's time. Would you like to lower the language level to the lowest setting? No, that won't be necessary. So if I transfer the muscle development, I won't have this pain again? That is correct. Will you begin the transfer? How long does it take? Reshaping muscles will require every nano machine inside your body, which will take loading time. Loading time? So how long is that? It was still early in the morning, so 2 hours was fine. Yeowun nodded. Activating muscle transfer. The process comes with severe pain, so you will be put under anesthesia. Does it hurt? It comes with intense pain. There have been millions of cases where users fainted due to it. Should I try it without anesthesia? Will you proceed without anesthesia? If I can't bear it, can you put me to sleep? He realized quickly how smart it was to add that last part. Beginning the process, millions of nano machines began moving toward his muscles. He first felt ticklish. This doesn't seem so. Then it hit. Ugh! His muscles twisted and clenched. His eyes rolled back from the sheer pain. He couldn't even scream properly. He writhed in agony. Then Nano's voice echoed again, injecting anesthesia. Yeowun passed out. After finishing his morning training, Jang prepared breakfast. He was never a good cook, but 5 years ago, after Lady Hua's death, he began cooking for the young prince. Over time, he had become quite skilled. Most mornings, he kept the meal simple, but today was different. He prepared red pig meat with a fried egg, a special dish to celebrate Yeowun's entry into the academy. It might be the last time he gets to enjoy a peaceful meal. I hope he survives. That's when he heard a scream. Yeowun's room was close to the kitchen, and Jang heard it clearly. Alarmed, he grabbed his sword and rushed toward the room. As he burst in, he found Yeowun sprawled halfway on the bed, foam bubbling from his mouth, completely unconscious. "Prince!" He ran over and checked the prince's pulse. Nothing seemed wrong. It reminded him of how he found him 2 years ago on the mountain. He's fine. But what was he? That's when he noticed faint footprints on the wooden floor. He gently placed Yeowun back onto the bed and examined them closely. Wait, are these? He placed his own foot over the prince and followed the movement. His eyes widened in disbelief. These are my dagger techniques. Footprints like these wouldn't appear from ordinary steps. These were the deep impressions left by martial arts, where strength and footwork collided. Did he learn it just by watching? Jang couldn't believe it. He had trained for 20 years, and this young prince had copied the exact steps. He watched me for 2 years and caught up to my 20 years of experience? It was unbelievable, but real, and tears welled up in Jang's eyes. To him, Yeowun had always been someone who needed protection. Realizing the boy's talent filled him with pride and hope. He placed a hand over Yeowun's wrist and checked for internal energy. No energy. He only knows the movements. Maybe that was for the best. If others found out Yeowun had mastered martial arts and developed internal energy, the 6 clans would not sit still. Jang stood there silently for a moment, looking at the unconscious boy, then quietly walked out of the room.